Hello and welcome to HIM Training Institute. We are a Health Information Training Center located at 4th floor of the Study by Enderun at the Podium Mall in the Ortigas Center. We're just at the back of the SM Megamall. We offer medical coding courses, both basic and intermediate, that allows Filipinos to earn their U.S. medical coding credentials or licenses recognized in the Philippines, in the U.S., and in the Middle East. Medical coding is a relatively new and very attractive career to get into, where a credential or license opens opportunities for employment both in the Philippines and abroad. This is our series of learning videos meant to provide a peek into the licensure exam for those who are interested to learn about medical coding, and as an aid for those who are currently preparing for their U.S. medical coding credentialing exam. This is our small way of continuing to build the ranks of competent Filipino medical coders able to service the growing demand for certified medical coders both locally and internationally. Today we are going through a practice question for the CPC or Certified Professional Coder exam, which falls under the purview of the AAPC. Here is the question for the week. An 8-year-old patient was brought into the ER due to seizures. Mother states that patient has been placed on medications a week back, but the seizures continued and even got worse. There were times that the patient fell unconscious while in school. The ED doctor diagnosed partial epilepsy. What ICD-10 code or codes should be reported? Let us look at the choices. Letter A, G40.919 and R56.9. Letter B, G40.109 and R56.9. Letter C, G40.219. And letter D, G40.B19. At this point, you could put the presentation on pause to give yourself time to solve the question. And once done, you could release that pause button to see the recommended solution. Go ahead. Okay, so how do we solve this question? In the first sentence, we will read that the reason why the patient is being brought into the emergency department is because of seizures. Seizure in ICD-10 is but a symptom. In the second to the last sentence, we are seeing that the doctor declared a confirmed diagnosis, and that is partial epilepsy. The seizure, being an integral component of your epilepsy, will not be reported. What we will be looking for is the code for partial epilepsy. But there is more that can be said about the partial epilepsy. In the second sentence, we read that even though the patient had been placed on medications for a week, the seizures continued still and even got worse. In ICD-10, there is a word which relates to this type of a situation, and that is the word intractable. In the third sentence, we also read that there were events that the patient fell unconscious. Those two things are going to figure in when we select the appropriate epilepsy code for this scenario. Among the choices in front of us, first to go will be letter A. In your ICD-10 book, you will note that epilepsies are divided up between those which are localization related or focal or partial, and those which represent generalized types of epilepsies. Your G40.9 is a 4-digit code which represents unspecified types of epilepsies. In this scenario, the type is explicitly mentioned. It is partial. Hence, letter A will be first to go. There is a type of epilepsy that was mentioned in this scenario. As mentioned, there are two big groupings of epilepsy codes in your ICD-10. If you look at the remaining choices, there is one of them which is not a partial type of epilepsy, and that is your G40.B. Your G40.B represents one of the generalized types of epilepsies. Therefore, letter D is next to go. And now you are left with two, G40.109 and G40.219. Both of these codes belong to the partial epilepsy series in your ICD-10, which began with G40.0 all the way to G40.2. There are three localized epilepsy group of codes in your book. G40.1 represents localized or partial epilepsies that come with simple partial seizures. In your book, the meaning of simple partial is explained courtesy of the inclusion terms underneath your G40.1, and it reads that these are attacks without alteration of consciousness. On the other hand, your G40.2 codes represent localization-related or partial epilepsies with complex partial seizures. Again, in your ICD book under the 4-digit code G40.2, the meaning of complex partial seizures is explained courtesy of the inclusion term underneath this 4-digit code. Complex partial seizures are attacks with alteration of consciousness, often with automatisms. In the third sentence of the question, we see that the patient at times fell unconscious while in school. Therefore, this patient had been presenting with alterations in consciousness. That being the case, we cannot report a partial epilepsy with simple partial seizures. Hence, letter B is last to go. The answer to this scenario is G40.219. Localization-related symptomatic epilepsy and epileptic syndromes with complex partial seizures intractable without status epilepticus. We hope that has helped you some to get an impression of what a U.S. medical coding credential exam would be like. And for folks out there who are preparing for their U.S. medical coding exam, we hope that this has provided you some tips to perform better during your test. For medical coding training and review courses, you could contact us by going to our website www.himti.ph or emailing us at info@himti.ph. Also, you could give us a call at 655-3609 or 0917-990-1971 or 0949-782-5764. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you and have a good rest of the day.